welcome back to the Aloha EQ or Emotional Intelligence podcast, the place where emotional intelligence meets island wisdom. I'm your host, Ruth Kongaika. And if you look around the world today, you'll notice something that almost everyone feels. Things move fast. Opinions move faster. Reactions move even faster. Social media, breaking news, arguments, misunderstandings, stress in families, pressure on teens, pressure on parents. Sometimes it can feel like the world is spinning in chaos. But emotional intelligence teaches us something powerful. Calm is a choice. And the ability to choose calm, especially when chaos is all around us, is one of the most powerful skills a human being can develop. Have you ever noticed how quickly emotions spread? One angry voice can escalate an entire room. One impatient parent can change the atmosphere of an entire household. One tense moment can turn a small disagreement into a full argument. Emotions are contagious. The psychologist and emotional intelligence researcher Daniel Goleman once said, if your emotional abilities aren't in hand, if you don't have self-awareness and can't manage your distressing emotions, if you can't have empathy and effective leadership relationships, then no matter how smart you are not going to get very far. In other words, intelligence alone does not create healthy relationships. Emotional regulation does. And emotional regulation is what allows us to choose calm. The first step towards calm is self-awareness. Self-awareness means recognizing what is happening inside of you before it spills out into the world. Your body usually knows before your mind does. Your heart rate increases, your voice tightens, your thoughts begin racing. Those are signals that chaos may be rising inside. Psychologist Travis Bradbury, co-author of Emotional Intelligence 2.0, explains, self-awareness is the ability to accurately perceive your emotions in the moment and understand your tendencies across situations. When we are self-aware, we can pause. And sometimes that pause is the difference between a conversation that heals and a conversation that hurts. Many people believe calm means weakness, but the truth is exactly the opposite. Calm is power. Calm means you are not being controlled by the situation. You are choosing your response. The famous psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who survived the concentration camps during World War II, wrote these words, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. That space is emotional intelligence. And in that space, we decide, will we choose chaos or will we choose calm? Nowhere is this more important than in families. Parents often tell me that their greatest challenge is not their children's behavior. It is their own reactions. When a teen rolls their eyes, when a child refuses to listen, when a disagreement escalates, in those moments, chaos invites us to react, but calm invites us to lead. The parenting expert, Dr. Becky Kennedy, often reminds parents, kids don't need a perfect parent. They need a sturdy one. A sturdy parent is not someone who never gets upset. A sturdy parent is someone who can regulate themselves even when things are difficult. And when children grow up in homes where calm leadership is the norm, they learn something powerful. They learn how to regulate their own emotions. Emotional intelligence is not something people are simply born with. It is something that can be learned. And the most effective teachers are not lectures. They are examples. Children watch how adults handle stress. They observe how we respond to disappointment. They notice how we treat people when we disagree. The researcher Brené Brown once said, "Who we are and how we engage with the world are much stronger predictors of how our children will do than what we know about parenting." Children are not just listening to our words, they are studying our emotional responses. When we choose calm, we give them a blueprint for their own lives. There is also a biological reason calm matters. When we become emotionally overwhelmed, the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for survival reactions, takes control. This is often called amygdala hijack. In those moments, logic disappears. People say things they regret. Arguments escalate. Decisions become impulsive. But when we pause, even for a few minutes, the prefrontal cortex regains control. This is the part of the brain responsible for reasoning, empathy, and thoughtful decision making. That pause restores emotional intelligence. Choosing calm does not mean ignoring problems. It does not mean avoiding difficult conversations. In fact, calm makes those conversations more effective. Calm allows people to listen. Calm allows people to feel safe enough to speak honestly. Calm allows solutions to emerge. As leadership expert Stephen Covey famously said, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." Understanding cannot happen in chaos. It happens in calm. Over the years, I have seen how emotional intelligence transforms relationships in workplaces where tensions run high, in families where misunderstandings have built walls, in communities where cultural differences can create distance. The moment someone chooses calm, everything changes. The atmosphere softens. People begin listening again. Connection returns. Calm is not passive, it is transformative. So, how do we actually choose calm? When emotions are rising, here are a few simple practices that emotional intelligence experts often recommend. First, pause before responding. Even a breath can reset your nervous system. Second, name the emotion. Research shows that simply labeling a feeling, anger, frustration, disappointment, can reduce its intensity. Third, lower your voice. A calm voice naturally slows conversations. Fourth, listen longer than you speak. People feel calmer when they feel heard. And finally, remember the bigger picture. Most conflicts are temporary. Relationships are long term. When a person chooses calm, it often spreads. A calm parent can calm a child. A calm teacher can calm a classroom. A calm leader can calm an entire organization. Calm becomes contagious. And that is the true power of emotional intelligence. Because emotional intelligence is not just about managing our own emotions, it is about shaping the emotional environment around us. The world will always have moments of chaos. We cannot control every circumstance, but we can control our response. And every time we choose calm, we contribute something meaningful to the world: more understanding, more empathy, more connection. As Daniel Goleman once said, what really matters for success, character, happiness, and lifelong achievement is a definite set of emotional skills. Those skills begin with one simple choice: choose calm over chaos. Mahalo for joining me today on the Aloha EQ podcast. I hope this episode helped you see emotional intelligence through a different lens. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone you love. Thank you.